If you cannot capture your setup in one photo, you do not have a setup. And you cannot backtest a vibe. I learned that the expensive way, around $10,000. Back in the Breaking Your Rule video, I promised to go deep on how I actually built a backtesting process. This is that video. One of my most watched videos is about backtesting psychology, why your head ruins the test. This is the other half, the mechanics, the exact process. 2 steps. Step 1 takes you a weekend. Step 2 takes a few weeks of honest reps. By the end, you will know exactly what to do with the one setup you trade most, not 10 setups. 1. Most traders never backtest. The ones who do usually do it wrong. I did both. Here's what wrong looks like. You scroll back on the chart and find trades that work. That is not backtesting. That is collecting highlights. You click the winners after you already saw what happened next. Of course, the results look good. I did exactly this for years. The curve looked great. The live account did not. You test 20 or 30 trades and call it proven. 30 trades is a rumor. A great system can look broken over 30 trades. A garbage system can look like genius. You change the rules halfway through. Now, you do not have one sample. You have 2 half samples of 2 different systems. Neither is big enough to trust. And the biggest one, you collect setups instead of testing one. A breakout from one video, a reversal from another, a new one every single month. I had a folder full of setups and data on none of them. Strategy hopping ate 7 years of my life. Collecting feels like progress. It is avoidance that looks like work. That $10,000 from the start, it came from this list. Every one of those mistakes produces the same thing, a number you cannot trust. So when the life losing streak arrives, and it will, you fold. Deep down, you always knew the number was fake. The fix is 2 steps. They do 2 different jobs. Do not mix them. Step 1 defines the setup. This is the model trade. Think back to school. You studied model answers before the exam, not to copy them, to train your eyes on what the correct answer looks like under pressure. A model trade is your model answer. The textbook version of your setup, fully annotated. The context that allows the trade. The confirmation that the context held. The exact entry trigger. The stop, the exit, why each one. Then the test. Take a screenshot. 1 photo. Could a stranger look at the 1 photo and know exactly what has to be true before you click buy? Then your setup is defined. Does the photo need a paragraph of exceptions underneath it? Usually like this, unless the day is slow, unless the move feels strong, then it is not a setup yet. It is a feeling with a chart attached. The tighter the definition, the less randomness leaks downstream. A vague model produces a vague dataset. A vague dataset produces a vague edge. Specific in, specific out. Build a small library. 5 to 10 of this on one instrument, every decision annotated. That is a weekend of honest work. The library has a second job later. When you go live and the price is moving, you are not reasoning from scratch. You are pattern matching against your model trades. No clean match, no trade. Without the library, you will take anything that vaguely rhymes with your setup. One warning. This step is deliberately picking textbook examples to train your eyes. That is the job. It is also why this step is not backtesting. Stop here and all you own is a highlight reel. Step 2 earns the trust. The 1,000 trades. 1 trade tells you nothing. 10 trade tells you almost nothing. You need enough reps that luck has room to average out. Around 1,000 trades is where real trust starts. Here's how you actually run it. Open bar replay on your charting platform. Pick a start date years back. Roll the chart forward candle by candle, exactly as you would have seen it live. Every time your model trade appears, you log it. Not just the pretty ones. Every single instance. Winners, losers, the ugly ones that barely qualify. Log the results in R. 1 R is the amount you risk. A winner worth 3 times your risk is plus 3 R. A full loss is minus 1 R. R is what makes every trade in a sample comparable. Log the chart's date and time too, not today's. Your session breakdowns are only true if that is right. 3 rules keep the data honest. Same setup every single time. If a trade does not match your model photo, it is not a data point. Skip it. Catch it at the decision candle. If you only spotted the setup after scrolling past the move, it does not count. Hindsight measures an edge you do not have. And once the count starts, the rules are frozen. Find a real leak. Fix that one rule. Restart the count. A sample is only clean if every trade ran on identical rules. Work in blocks of hundreds. After the first block, you want the running total at plus 1 R or better. Not rich. Just prove the rules point the right way. Review the block, run the next 100, rinse and repeat. That loop is how I prove my own system, block by block. The same frozen rule until the count cross 1000. If your setup is rare and mine is, do not loosen the rules to hit that number. Widen the universe instead. Run the identical setup across multiple instruments. The edge is in the behavior, not the ticker. This is why my 1000 trades shows me. My win rate is around 21%, wrong roughly 8 times out of 10. The curve still ended up higher, a lot higher. And the part nobody screenshots, the part I lean on most. My worst drawdown in the data was 8.13% of the account. My average drawdown was 2.76%. Losing streak showed up again and again, the kind that make most traders quit. The system outlived every single one. I did not have to believe it would. I watched it happen in the data. That is the product, not the win rate. The proof that the bad stretches are normal. And here's what 1000 block trades actually buys you. Peace and calm. Before the data, a losing streak is a question. Maybe the system is broken. Maybe you are broken. Maybe it is time to switch. That is hoping. Hope falls under pressure. After the data, a losing streak is a line item. You have already watched this exact stretch happen inside your sample. You watch the curve recover from it. You're not hoping anymore. You know, same chart, same losses, a completely different experience of them. You are the casino. Your backtest trade data is your edge. A few losses are the operating costs. That is the whole difference between traders who survive the first real drawdown and traders who reset to a new strategy every quarter. Same losing streak. Different information about it. It's also why I can follow my 2-loss rule without flinching. That rule has its own video. People ask, how do I stay calm after a loss? I am not calm because of my mindward set. I'm calm because I have seen this movie 1000 times and I know how it ends. You cannot buy that. You cannot affirm your way into it. You log it one trade at a time. Your homework. Pick the one setup you trade most. Just one. Not your favorite 3. One. This month, find 100 past instances of it on one instrument. Bar replay it. Decision candle. No cherry picking. Log every result in R. 100 trades will not prove your edge. It does something more useful first. It shows you exactly where your setup is still a vibe. Tighten the definition and keep counting towards 1000. That 1 month of work puts you ahead of almost everyone with a chart open right now. They are still collecting setups. You will be building data. The journal I log every one of these trades is free in the description below. Subscribe if you want more videos on building a trading system you can actually trust. I'll see you in the next one.